Zach Alen, Associated Press. Last game, you guys won 1-0, and then today, obviously, they scored 6 goals. I'm just curious, what were they doing to kind of break through your back line in particular?
They've obviously got some very good players, as we said yesterday. They're a classy team. They should are the favourites to win this group, and they showed some of their class today with their individual skill, and they picked us apart and won a couple of battles in the area of the box early, and we really released the pressure valve early and allowed them to sort of be even a little bit more creative as the game went on. But we tried hard all the way to the end, and with 10 players we kept them out for 25-30 minutes at the end. So I'm proud of the heart and spirit of our team. They fought to the end, they fought to the death, and from that perspective, it's been an amazing World Cup. The players have punched so far above their weight. They've delivered an amazing memory and history to Philippines football, and one that'll go down in the annals of Philippine sporting history.
Jeff Carlisle with ESPN. I'm curious, what did you make of the reception from the fans there at the end after the final whistle? It seemed like a really nice gesture.
If it was 34,000 here tonight, it would have been 30,000. Supporting our team felt like a home game. To have 75,000 people come across our 3 matches, to bring football to life in the Philippines has been, as I said, a moment in history, and one that you can't turn back from. Following football, following women's sport, unheard of and unprecedented, and these players have really left their mark and left a legacy for future generations to come. And for me, can't ask any more as a coach. They gave everything they had on the field, and today we're outclassed by a better opponent, and it's just the way it goes in football sometimes. We didn't sit back, and when we were losing, we just kept pressing for a goal. So for me, it didn't matter if we lost 4-0, 5-0 or 6-0, we just kept pressing for a goal, and we kept ourselves open. But that's some positive mentality of the group, and we fought to the death, and as I said, can't ask any more of the playing group. They're amazing.
Masariki, BBC. Alen, thanks for your time. You touched on it there, what a historical tournament this has been for Philippine soccer, not just women's soccer, women's football. I guess the question now is, looking forward, is what do you hope you can do, the players can do, the federation can do in terms of support to make sure that you push forward again even more now the first World Cup and the first World Cup wins under the belt?
Yeah, look, the reality is I come from Australia. I think 2007 was the first win that Australia ever had at the World Cup after 4 or 5 World Cups. New Zealand had 6 World Cups. I think South Korea's only had 1 win at the World Cup, and we've come to our first World Cup and won a game and come from 100 lengths back behind all these other footballing countries with so much pedigree and so much history and so much investment in women's football. And this is just the tip of the iceberg for the Philippines. For them to continue this legacy, there needs investment in grassroots programs across the Philippines. We could go through a whole spectrum of things that need to happen to grow on this point. But what it is the starting point of a new history, one where these players, I hope, inspired a new generation of young kids, boys and girls, to look at football in the way that we all do, the world game, the beautiful game, the one that can bring everyone together from all parts of the world, and one that's a religion basically around the world. So, from that perspective, I hope we planted the seeds of the future generations wanting to become footballers and national team players and do what these girls have done this week. So, it's a good first step, but, there's a lot of things that have to happen to sustain it and maintain it, because we are starting from, a million miles back in reality.
Congratulations. And simple question, because the Philippines will be competing in the Asian Games in September. Is there a chance that you could still be with the Filipinas in Hangzhou, in the Hangzhou Asian Games in September?
Yeah, look, it's a bit early for all those questions. We've just lost the game and bowed out of the World Cup when we all had hope, that little bit of hope of causing another upset like we did the other night. So, we'll reflect on that for now, and, in the coming days we'll have to start making plans for the future. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Coach.
Question?
Coach, you mentioned about there are a lot of things to do in order for this one to be sustainable. Could you cite perhaps one thing that should happen in order for this one to be sustainable? Just one.
There's millions of things. You need to invest in the national youth teams, you need to invest in this team, you need to invest in grassroots program, domestic league, there need to be regional academies and centres of excellence all across the Philippines for boys and girls to play. It's a country of 110 million people who love basketball, but we need to convert some of those young kids into footballers, and I'm sure like other Southeast Asian countries like Vietnam and Thailand have displayed over a long period of time now that they can become technically very good players and have good national teams over a long period of time. It's not just a flash in the pan. So, you know, all those things are necessary. We could talk for hours and days, in fact, about all the things that need to be done, and that's really up to the leadership of the PFF. I know they've got elections in November. It's a big mantle, but I think we've given them a good head start and something that they can build on now, and they've really flown these players have flown the flag at this level, and you know, competed against some of the best players in the world and done the country proud. And there is a support base for football. You know, you don't get 75,000 people to 3 games and pack out a stadium in a foreign country unless there is support for the game. And you know, it was a memorable day for myself and for the players, and I'm sure I'll never forget it. Thank you.
Okay, thanks very much.